So I am live on a new computer that I think can actually do this. Let me see if I get anybody in here or not. I usually don't do this format. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some films I'm thinking of. And we'll get started if anyone comes in. Windy outside. If you're watching the replay. I have this pile of wind hitting my windows, and my neighbors have been really loud. I don't love that. Let's see. It says, "Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community guidelines." Huh. All right. I may have someone with me live. So I'm still learning this, but what I'm doing is I'm going through a stack of criterions and I'm trying to figure out what I might watch next. So if you ever watch my channel, you're probably aware that I cover this a lot. And I have nope, no participants. They went away. Let's see. I do have a participant. I am learning live right now, and I've got this stack of criterions. But I believe I just have a laptop, so I believe this particular laptop's probably not gonna have the best picture, but, right here I have "Evil does not exist." I'm considering in a secluded, snowy mountain village, a widower and single father, Takumi, leads a modest life, gathering wood, water, and wild wasabi for a friend's shop. Yet this peaceful existence is threatened when a pair of corporate reps arrive to launch a glamping site, sparking resistance from community members who fear the project's potentially pernicious impact on the environment. Takami is a local figure who has to be a caretaker. I'm talking about "Evil Does Not Exist." I'm trying to figure out if I don't watch this soon. What I've got here is I've got this whole stack of Blu-rays and a few DVDs, and I'm just kind of experimenting with live here to see if my machine will actually even run live. Because if it will, and a few folks watch me live every now and then, I think could be fun to have some movie chats that are just kind of informal, that don't necessarily have to have, a super stringent topic. Because I feel like when I am making videos, I feel like I have to be like so on task, right? It's a little bit more fun, maybe. But I was looking at this "Evil Does Not Exist." It looks pretty cool. The disc has like mountains and stuff on it. It's kind of neat. And glamping. Glamping. I got this because I think this is the same director who did Drive My Car, which is supposed to be a haunting meditative experience, meditation, nature and consumerism. Talk about that stuff a lot in my formal videos. So I'm trying to figure out, like, do I want to do this? I think I do. Someone in one of my comments a while back, I had quadrophenia, and this is a classic rock opera from The Who. And I have a song from The Who on my fun tracks playlist. I've got a lot of random stuff on there. I've got like Sabrina Carpenter and a Mortal Kombat remix. It really makes no sense. It's just fun tracks. But this has an anti-hero who's dissatisfied with family, work, and love. And there's a motorcycle riding rocker and a riot. Ray Winstone's in this, and so is Sting. So I'm imagining that this has to be a good watch. Although it could be incorrect. So I've got that in the stack. I also have Nothing But a Man. Michael Romer's groundbreaking first feature. I'm wanting to say he did a trilogy that I haven't seen. Prejudice, Expression of Humanity and Prejudice. It reveals the toll of systemic racism in a black railroad worker. I remember talking about this in one of my videos. This guy confronts the daily challenges of discrimination and economic precarity when he's trying to settle down with his new life. It does say this was admired by Malcolm X and is now recognized as a landmark of American cinema. So this is in my list. This here is in my list. So if anyone's seen this, I've been meaning to watch it for a while. Going over some things I'm looking at watching soon in a very informal video. I'm trying to see if my computer will run video chats. Because if it will, it'd be kind of fun to have a semi-regular video chat that doesn't have to have a super specific, like, narrow focus. Could be fun, but I don't really, it's hard because YouTube doesn't give you a lot of help. They're like, here's how you live stream. Click the button, so you don't really know. I bought this copy of Slacker, which I've shown off on my channel. Look at this art, man. Hello. I've been a collector of Criterion. This is a comment. Since the days of Laserdisc. I want a Laserdisc Criterion. You know what I want? I want a Laserdisc that's not in English of Once Upon a Time in the West. That's what I want. I think the first time I saw a Laserdisc was my dad put on, like, the first Star Wars, like the Ben Kenobi one, and it kept skipping and breaking. And that was like my first experience. So I love Laserdisc. The reason I said Once Upon a Time in the West is that I'm collecting everything I can find of that, VHSs, DVDs, stuff like that. But anyway, I have Slacker here that I was talking about. And I know this is supposed to just be different young people from. This is shot in 16 millimeter. And I think this is the same director as the Before trilogy. So I've been wanting to see this. I got this on a good deal. Can't remember if it's like eBay or. No, this was Warbit DVD. So that's something I'm looking at. So far I've talked about these. Evil Does Not Exist, Quadrophenia, Nothing But a Man, Slacker. That's what I've talked about so far. I'm just kind of going through a stack of stuff I'm looking at. No formal agenda. I don't think I would ever stream on Twitch. That seems like that would be very, very hard. I don't know if I'm entertaining enough to be a Twitch streamer. I've got this is something a few of you recommended to me. So if you see this on the replay, if YouTube loads this in a replay, the shooting and Ride in the Whirlwind. I have tried one or the other of these before. I can't remember which one, but it's from Monty Hellman and Gritty, and for whatever. Wait. Roger Corman produced it. Fun fact: if you didn't know this, you should check out my gunfighter video if you haven't. It's an old one, so it's probably a little rougher around the edges. But the reason the gunfighter doesn't have a ridiculous title is because of Roger Corman. He like stepped in and said he was looking at the script notes or something. I don't remember the exact story, but he like made that title better. Like he like recommended that title, so that's funny. My first Laserdisc was a King Kong box set. Here's a hot take. If you're watching this now or on the replay, here's a hot take. The best Godzilla movie that isn't the first Godzilla is the Godzilla versus King Kong, the really ridiculous like sumo wrestler one. That's my hot take for you. I love that movie. Kill all of my credibility with my like serious art fans. Until the End of the World. Speaking of serious art movies, it is supposed to be the ultimate road movie, which this director is known for his road movies. Decades in the making, science fiction epic. Let's see. Claire goes across continents as she prepares for mysterious stranger. I don't know what this is about. There's an Armageddon. I have no idea what this is about, but some people recommended this to me. I haven't even opened it out of the seal. I'll tell you, one thing I got started on, and so if you're watching this now or in the replay, I'm going to eventually try to go through all of this Abbas Kiarostami set. And I've seen some of it. It's very, very good what I've seen of it. This is the director of Close Up, the director of The Wind Will Carry Us, a few different things. So I'm going to go through that as well. I'm hoping. But this is just kind of time consuming to go through the whole thing. But I'm hoping to get a video of it eventually. Targets has been recommended to me before, but Targets. Old Hollywood collides with New Hollywood, and Pete Bogdanovich is part of this, or it's his debut feature. With Boris Karloff in it. That's neat. Ordinary man on a psychotic shooting spree around LA. I've been putting off that one for a few different reasons. Some of them might be obvious, but it's one I've sort of looked at. So, might be prescient. Might be a good one to discuss on the old channel. I tried this film, and I need to go back and look at it again. The Earrings of Madame D. And for what I do not remember why I wasn't able to finish this. I think something came up. It's a French film. I wasn't really like blown away by this the way I thought I would be, but I need to go back and look at it again. It's probably just was in the wrong mindset. I talk about that a lot on my channel. You got to have the right right mind when you're looking at films, right? And so I know this is a classic, and I will look at it again, but I didn't get to finish it before. It is, I don't know. It's a cool looking box, I'll tell you that. So that's in the stack. And there's one more in the stack here. that I have been looking at out of the Criterions. And it's right. Wait, what's this doing here? What's this doing here? What's this? Is this a movie thing? No, this is not movie related, but this was a Morrowind's map from the Xbox that I found in my closet the other day. I don't know where this came from. And the reason I'm actually showing this right now is that I think we could get a good artistic movie from the Elder Scrolls, but I don't see it actually happening. But it could, The Killers from the Ernest Hemingway short story. One of them has Lee Marvin, Angie Dickinson, and John Cassavetes. It was intended for television, but deemed too violent. The first is poetic and shadowy. The second is as direct and harsh as daylight, and both get at the heart of the existential classic. That seems fun to me. I don't know. It's like I have, so let's go through the stack here that I was looking at, realistically watching. It's a pretty good stack. I've started a little bit of this, but I think I need to speed up here a little bit on this Abbas Kiarostami, because Abbas Kiarostami, I feel like a lot of people are not talking about that director and the work. For a small channel that's really trying to grow, and I'm trying different things, if you follow me, you'll see that. Abbas Kiarostami, there's a large hole in the internet for that. Like there is Bela Tarr, right? Like my Bela Tarr videos, people will click on those for whatever reason. Probably because Bela Tarr is really good. And then he passed away and it made me really sad. That was a bad day because I was finally getting into his films, and then, that happened. All right, I have one more here, and it is The Promise. It's about brothers. I don't know what this is about. It's a documentary about exploited undocumented workers. I remember this now. I was talking about this on one of my physical media videos, but it was one of the ones that I got for a few bucks. It's like a $12 or $13 Criterion. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this very first, very, very obviously rough live stream, and then I'm going to put some questions out there and try to kind of figure out if this is something I could do occasionally, if I like advertised it beforehand, if it's something people even want to see, and I could give it a little bit of focus. But I'm just kind of messing with it today. So if you did tune in, thanks for watching. And, let me know what you might want to see in this. Like if you're watching a replay, which I don't think that many people would, but if they do, then, they could tell me what they might want, because obviously this is just me kind of talking when I first go. Anyway, see you later.